Sure, Comanche today, Ray Shadow Legends. Welcome to the video, guys. Send us some positive vibes and love your way, especially if you need it out there today. Today, first of all, feeling a little tiny bit under the weather today. I don't know, any parents out there, you can probably relate to this, but my kiddo, my 6-year-old is sick. And of course, he climbs into the bed at night and I wake up, you know, feeling nice and healthy and spry. Well, generally speaking. And I wake up and he's just like, sneezing and coughing all in my face. And of course, I woke up with a sore throat.
That's the way he says I love you.
Okay, enough Ash health. That's not why you clicked on the video. I apologize. We're going to get into Zinogre Blade Master. She's a Shadowkin. She's a fragment summon. Man, there's been a lot of chatter around not just her, but also Renthalos, right? Some people are saying Renthalos is the best 7-day loyalty champion ever. Some people are saying he's trash. I'm going to save my opinion on that till I think tomorrow's video, maybe the day after. I have Big Papa Drock on with me. It's a great episode. You're not going to want to miss it. We rank all of the 7-day logins, and let me tell you, it's a great conversation because there's some really good ones there, and I just had a lot of fun with it, and it might surprise you where we ranked Renthalos Blade Master. Anyway, I see the same thing a little bit for Zinogre Blade Master, right? I think I called her Zinogre when she initially was released.
Zinogre.
How? I think I called her Zinogre. How? I apologize. You guys are used to me butchering everything. So there's a lot of talk about her too, right? Little controversy, YouTube controversy, which is like a 1 out of 10 in real life, right? People saying that she was a must fuse, must frag, must fuse. Must frag fuse.
We don't have that here.
Must summon. And some people saying she's absolute trash. Easy pass. Easy skip. You already know, or the 3 of you who watch all my videos already know that I said that I think she can help a lot of players out, but she's absolutely not a must fuse, must fragment summon. Does she live up to those expectations? That's what we're going to find out today. First, let's go ahead and review the kit here. And by the way, I think I have almost all of the Blade Masters, so expect a video putting them all on the same team and seeing what they can do. Furthermore, expect guides on all of them, on more robust, long-form guides on my Raid Shadow Legends Champion Guides YouTube channel. Blade combo, 3-time hitter. She's all about the multi-hitters. 3-time hitter, each hit has a 30% chance of placing a weaken, big version, on the A1. Now we have a quad hitter on Blade Strike, 3-turn cooldown, win booked, 4-time hitter. Each hit increases his champion's turn meter by 5%. So quick math says 20% turn meter fill. It's weird how they go, each hit increases this champion's turn meter by 5% rather than just increases by 20%. I guess just coming incrementally, I don't know.
When everything's made to be broken.
Increased speed on all allies for 2 turns. Okay, that's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to have a quad hitter and then increased speed, big version on all allies, 3-turn cooldown. On the A3, Blade Spin, a 4-time hitter. Before attacking, increase attack on this champion for 2 turns on a 3-turn cooldown. The first and second hit, place the leech. The third and fourth hit the decrease attack, okay? So she bring in leech, decrease attack, increase speed, and weaken. Quite a, I don't know, I don't want to say random, because it makes sense. I mean, really good for clan boss, really good for, I guess, like Fire Knight situations, obviously with a quad hitter and a quad hitter on the A2, A3. But then the Zinogre Essence, to me, this is really, you know, what puts her a little bit over the top of some other epic champions, which says a lot, which we'll talk about in just a moment. Zinogre Essence, 4-turn cooldown, passive effect, increase the champion's, the damage the champion deals by 1% for every 1% HP lost. Stacks up to 50% extra damage. The increase doubles if the target's under a decreased defense debuff. Again, this is an area that I think you can take advantage of in longer battles, clan boss, right? And then the active effect prevents this champion's death and keeps them alive on 1 HP when hit by a fatal hit, kind of like a Leo type move, right? If this skill prevents this champion's death, heals them by 50% of their max HP. That is a really cool addition to the preemptive fatal staying alive, right? Will not prevent this champion's death if they're under a heal reduction debuff. So a little bit of a downside there too. We also have speed in dungeons by 30%. All right, first thing we need to figure out is what are the multipliers. Thanks to hellhades.com, we have a 1.2 multiplier on the A1, a triple hitter, and again, a quad hitter on the A2, a 1.4. So pretty good, right? And then a 1.5 on the A3. So the A3 is the strongest ability by a 10th of a attack multiplier, right? Where do they rank? Let's just take a look at the rankings here, right? Hell Hades, they give her a 4 out of 5, which is a pretty
Watch your mouth.
good score, pretty good score. They give her a 5 out of 5 in Clan Boss, a 4.5 out of 5 in Hydra. Now, personally, I'm just gonna out the gate tell you guys, I'm not a fan of single target hitters in Hydra unless they're provokers or doing something absolutely insane. I don't think personally that I would give her that high of a score. What about you guys? Let me know. Doom Tower, Iron Twin, Sand Devil, whatever. Fire Knight, obviously she is built for Fire Knight. Fire Knight normal 5, totally agree. Fire Knight hard. I would say she's a 4.5. I agree with the ranking. But there is a little bit of an issue here, and this is why I called her, I said that she's not a must frag, a must summon, because I actually think that champions like Cryode in the blue and Neldor, the newer epic, I think they might be, I think they're better for Fire Knight Hard because they have freeze all in their kit too for turn meter control. She doesn't have freeze, and she doesn't have, like a decreased speed. She doesn't have heal reduction. So I feel like she's missing just one
Baby, are you okay?
Get out the way.
I feel like she's missing just one of the essential debuffs that we look for Fire Knight Hard. Not to say that she's not usable all the way to Fire Knight Hard 10, she absolutely is, but I kind of wish she had a little bit of freeze or something, like a Newt A1 type move, What about you guys? Eternal Dragon, a 4 out of 5, Magma Dragon, 4.5, Celestial Griffin, 4, Nether Spider, 4. They give her a 4.5 in the arena. I also disagree with that one. I hate to be such a hater in this video because overall, again, I think she's a niche but really good legendary champion if you need this sort of a kit, right? But again, for me, single target hitter in the arena, 4.5, you gotta be like this dude to be getting a 5 or a 4.5 from me, And he's obviously got, he's Roto, so I'm not even gonna compare. Yeah, so I don't rank her that high in the arena. To me, she's not really an arena champion, honestly, unless you get her and you're just starting out, your progression, you're just looking for damage where you can find it. The nice thing is she can, stay alive, right? She got the Leo type passive, so she's not awful, but I don't think that's where she shines. I would probably go like 3.5 personally, rather than 4.5. So I wanted to show you these two epics just for comparison. Again, I'm really not my intention here to just absolutely crap on this champion here for 20 minutes, but a triple hitter with freeze, I love it. 40% freeze on that A1 is good control. A quad hitter with decreased attack and decreased accuracy. This is an epic on a 3-turn cooldown. And then we have attacks all enemies 2 times with decreased speed and a heal in there. Whenever an ally places a freeze debuff, this champion has a 30% chance to attack the target with their default skill. More triple hitters, more freeze. Doesn't that kit feel like, I'm not saying it's better or worse, I'm just saying that, that is, I'd rather have Neldor and Fire Knight Hard, No, everybody has Neldor, and that's totally fine. Again, I'll say it for the last time, because I know some of you guys are clicking on this video like, oh, I'm 1 frag away, Ash! Tell me how good she is! And I'm like, ooh, not a must fuse.
Not listening. Not listening.
Cryodin. A triple hitter with freeze, 35% chance on his A1, an AoE ×2 with freeze on a 3-turn cooldown, and then an increased speed on everybody on a 3-turn cooldown with turn meter fill on a 3-turn cooldown. Fills his turn meter every time a freeze placed by this champion as well. So again, these are just 2 options, but I guess I'm showing you all this, guys, just to show that there's a lot. They're introducing this Ruella. There's a lot of champions out there with multi-hits. So this doesn't feel as unique and special of a kit than it would have been a year ago before any of these champions existed, That's all I'm saying. Even Holstring, 2-time hitter, triple hitter, and then a quad hitter as well. I'm not saying Holstring, he's a bit different, a lot of hex synergy and stuff like that, but I'm just saying there's a lot of these multi-hitters. Now, again, that means absolutely nothing to you guys if you don't have any of them, right? Maybe that's why you went for the frag summon, and if that's the case, then congratulations, you got a great option for yourselves. All right, let's take a look at her here, how I have her built out. I'm going to show you 2 builds in today's video. First, we're going to lead off just with a PvE build. I like her in Relentless because it gives her shots. I mean, the bad thing about Relentless, the downside on any champion, is you outstrip your buffs sometimes, right? You get these extra turns, the increased attack might fall off, right? The good news is she brings her own increased attack, which is really, really nice, right? Same thing with the increased speed. The upside is it gets you right back into another triple or quad hit, right? There's a lot of multi-hits in this kit, obviously. For that reason, we'll just do Masteries first here. We went with a very obvious PvE build. We came down the offense tree. I did pick up Life Drinker, a little bit more healing in her kit as well. Went Cycle of Violence, came down Methodical, Kill Streak, and of course, Giant Slayer, right? To me, there's 2 tier 6 options for this champion. I mean, I guess you could do an unorthodox build as well, but it would be Giant Slayer. I mean, she has multi-hits everywhere in her kit. No brainer. Or if you wanted to mess around a little bit in the arena, if you disagree with me, and you do think she's a 4.5 out of 5 in the arena, well, then you can definitely experiment with Helm Smasher and start ignoring some defense as well. Keep in mind, her damage goes up the less HP she has as well. So here's the build. We went with attack on the ring. So I wanted to use her in Fire Knight hard, so I had to build her with a little bit of sustainability. Obviously, every champion in this game, we want to keep them alive, first and foremost. So I went attack, but I was actually looking for some dice HP on the substats. So attack on the ring, I went crit damage on the amulet, and I went accuracy on the banner. I have crit rate on the gauntlets, I have attack percentage on the chest, and I have speed on the boots, okay? So again, Relentless in Perception. Perception's really good on this champion. We have her really fast in this build. It's unnecessary to have her at 305 speed, but the more turns, the more hits, the faster she goes. It also is a big snowball effect. So I do like the idea of building her as fast as we can, given the gear that we have on our account. I'm going to be showing her against the most endgame content, you know, Fire Knight 10, whatever. Accuracy. First stat priority obviously is going to be accuracy on this champion, and then after that, I would go speed, survivability, crit rate, crit damage, right? I showed you Masteries. I don't have her awakened at all, but if I did, you know, I'd probably go, it depends on where I'm using her, of course, but, you know, she could just be an intimidating presence champion on your team. She's coming already, again, with the speed in dungeons by 30%, which is a great aura. I don't want to sleep on that or neglect giving her credit where credit is due on the aura. If you want to use her for dungeons, I mean, great. She's your aura lead, right? For example, I run Cardio as my aura lead with a 19 speed aura in Fire Knight. She's going to be my new speed lead there. So for that reason, I think Intimidating Presence makes a lot of sense on her. Of course, she's going to have the accuracy. You could plop Brimstone on her, right, for bosses. So I think that Brimstone is a way to go as well. And you could get a little bit more unorthodox, and go with, like, Cruelty if you wanted to as well, decrease target's defense. So those are some options for blessings. We talked about Masteries. I'm going to switch her into Savage and or Lethal at the end of the video and do an all-out nuke build damage check in the arena just to see what she can do, right? Because I'm curious, and I'm sure a lot of you guys are as well. So let's go ahead and jump right into Fire Knight, guys. At first, I was going to show you her in a bunch of dungeons, and I'm like, you know, I think once you see it here, you'll know what she's doing. I have Valkyrie, I have Tomb Lord, I have Cardio, and I have Zinogre. Let's go ahead and put her in the lead, like I said, right? So, put the old switcherooski. Recently, boom, boom. All right, so right off the bat, we get a nice upgrade on our speed aura. We're not going to do anything with her in terms of the setup, right? I mean, she's good to go. Just so you guys are curious, I do have Valkyrie opening with Stand Firm and not using it in round 2 after that. I have Tomb Lord not using his Blight ability on the Fire Knight. I want him to actually hit the Fire Knight. And then Cardio, I was like, wait, what am I doing here? It's because I just swapped them. Duh. I'm going to open with the A2, and then we are going to shut off the ally don't use, and then I want to open with A2 here, and then this will be first choice after the opener. Okay, Cold Heart, we're not using Art of Pain on round 3, okay? Let's go in. the waves are going to take long with this team, and they're going to be fairly boring, so I'll come back to you when we get to the Fire Knight. All right, guys, here we are at the Fire Knight. Zinogre is right in the middle, right there in the middle. Let me go ahead and make myself a little bit smaller here. So, as I was saying, Fire Knight 10 or the Fire Knight in Cursed City, right? If available, she's going to be a massive help to you guys. In any of those areas, any of these multi-hit content, or if you're just looking for a nice multi-hitter damage dealer again for Clan Boss. So here we go, guys. Going to do the ally attack, get that shield down on the Fire Knight. Most importantly, with Tomb Lord, place that decreased speed, the heal reduction as well with Cold Hard. And then, well, you can see her passive kind of triggering there as well. And, you know, you can see the whatchamacallits, the Giant Slayers, excuse me. We land the decrease attack, which is really nice, as well as get those poisons in there. So everything's looking great. The shield's going to come back up in a second. Strong AoE attack is going to come down, but I was like, what's going on in my game here?
Just taking a break.
She gets the extra turn there, and again, we have to be careful with those extra turns, right? So Relentless might not be the best set for the Fire Knight, because we do not want her to outstrip, forget about her own buffs, we don't want her to outstrip the shield from Valkyrie or the counterattack. So be careful with this build. Might be better just to go reflex or just go triple perception. Let me take a quick look and see what they recommend in terms of other builds on this champion on hellhades.com, right? I really love hellhades.com and Ayumi Love are my go-tos, right? My go-tos for anything Raid Shadow Legends. I use them in every single video on the other channel, so much love. I feel like I almost don't shout them out enough. So things got pretty close there on that AoE, right? So again, I'm thinking if I was going to do this a consistent run, especially to mitigate potential critical hits, I would not run her in Relentless for specifically Fire Knight. Anywhere else PvE, I probably would still, right? Anyway, let me see. So far, things are going okay. It's going to be a 6-minute run, though, you know? And that's the thing. That's where I miss, you know, in all sincerity, I usually have, in this position, I usually have a Newt, right? And I miss that damage, and I really miss the freeze on that A1, that control, right? And again, this is, I mean, it's good. We're gonna win, I think. I don't want to speak too soon, but it's a little bit too close for my comfort to run this sort of a team consistently without taking her off the reflex at the very least, right? Now, it's notable that I have Cold Heart built more in a tanky, fast build, right, than a typical Cold Heart build, all-out nukes. Oh, I should have mentioned, too, Phantom Touch, right? For Fire Knight specifically, you can get that Phantom Touch on there. I think that would certainly be the way to go if you're using her as a Fire Knight champion. She is able to stay alive there, which was nice. They recommend, in terms of gear, Savage, Lethal, Cruel, Perception, Speed, Relentless for PvE. Okay, for PvP, Savage, Lethal, Cruel, Fatal, and Speed. Sleep, what? Days? Who uses days sets? All right, so Speed. We get the job done. I'll tell you what, guys, is enthralling. I'm sure you guys are on the edge of your seat with this battle, but what I'm going to do is come back to you guys. We're going to put her in a Nuker build. Actually, we can just finish the battle. It's close to the end here. Let's go ahead and try her out in the arena, see what kind of damage she can do. Overall, though, I don't know if you guys agree or disagree. I'm sure you'll let me know in the comments below. I am feeling like she's meh. You know, like, all right. Anyway, let's go. But like I keep saying, it all depends on what you need, man. Every account's different. You can't say in a vacuum that any champion absolutely sucks. Unless you had to ignore your family all weekend and spend $1 million to complete the fragment summon. Then you can say it's probably not worth it. All right, so she puts out 2.3 million damage. Certainly not bad in terms of damage, right behind Tomb Lord there. Anyway, guys, let me build her as a nuker, and I'll be right back. All right, guys, so we're going to go ahead and redo the Masteries for a nuker build. We're going to go pretty obvious here. I don't think we're going to have a CC setup here, so maybe we will. You know what? Maybe we will. We'll go Opportunist. We'll go with Single Out. We'll go Bring It Down. We will come in with Kill Streak and end with Helm Smasher. And then we might as well go with, Yeah, let's go with Defiant. Let's go with Improved Parry. Come on over to Bloodthirst and come Delay Death and counterattack with Retribution. And we still want Methodical here. So here's the Nuker build. We also have her in the Savage, and I kept a Perception set on her. We could go Cruel, obviously, probably be a better choice. Her base defense, we didn't talk about her base stats. Her speed is pretty solid at 104. Her attack is good, not insane, but good at 1465. We're able to scale that up to 4655. Nothing too crazy. She's still fairly fast at 230. 101, 240 on the crit rate, crit damage, okay? So most importantly, the ignore enemy defense in the Savage and the Helm Smasher. Let's go ahead and take her into the arena and see what she can do. We're going to set her up with basically the same setup that I've been using in every video for the last 2 months here, and that is using a Shuzen the Valorous because she brings the increased attack and increased crit rate and increased crit damage and the instant turn ability, right? So really ignore everybody here except for obviously the Zinogre, but we are going to run the Archer on the same team just for the fun of it, But again, stay tuned for the all Blade Master team here, kind of. I can still consider her one, right? It's Monster Hunter. I said in the video announcing these that I had never been a monster. I had never heard of Monster Hunter. And some of you in the comments were like, are you serious, dude? Like, what world do you live in? And other people, probably like oldies like me, were like, yeah, neither have I. So I don't know. I don't know where you stand on that one. All right, so let's go ahead and give it to her, right? I'm going to give it the instant. I'm going to go on the other side here. Going to give her the instant turn. Let's see what she can do. We already know the A3 has the best multipliers here, so let's go in right against their Reviver. So let's slow it down. Okay. I mean, no debuffs, to be fair, right? Let's go ahead and use Archer Queen. AoE stun. That's more like it. I'm not saying she's like trash, but you know, she's not, I don't feel like she's like much of an arena stud, you know? I'm certainly not blown away by the damage. It's only been one battle though. Here's her A1, obviously weak hits against Nishak. Let's just keep it going here. Let's just keep it going. I do want to set her up with a debuffer, right? But here's the thing. To be a single target nuker, outside of just someone starting out progression, you know, to be a single target nuker in the arena, at least for me, I want somebody, you got to give me an extra turn mechanic in there, right? Or have like a really nice ability, have some control in there. I don't know, deny revival, something. But she doesn't have any of that, you know? So I don't really see her as much of a, like, because what else are we using her for in the arena, if not for the damage? A single target weaken, you know, who cares? A leech and a decreased attack on a single target? No, you know? So I don't really understand it, honestly, you know? All right, here we go. Let's go A3 again. So we're going to go right after Duchess, man. Like, this should be the best case scenario. We have increase attack, increased crit rate, increased crit damage, excuse me, and all the debuffs. She should absolutely murder. Boom, boom, boom. 40k per hit. Not bad on a quad hitter. Granted, this is the absolute best case scenario, and we still have to deal with these three dudes, you know? So I'm just not, you guys let me know. Anyway, I feel, again, I said this earlier, I'm sorry for continuing. She actually does pretty solid damage with all the best case scenario buffs and debuffs and stuff. So, I don't know. Well, you guys let me know. If you fused her, you tell me, do you plan on using her in the arena? If so, why? What am I missing that you like? You know, I kind of, let's try the A3 against Taurus here. She should be able to take him down. Not bad. And then we'll give her another turn. We'll go A2 here against the sheep. Oh, she does great at slaying sheep. I mean, that's basically 100k damage that we're looking at there. That's not bad at all, right? So with the debuff setup is definitely not bad, but still, again, I mean, just give me give me a Genbo the Dishonored. You know, I'd rather have that personally than a single target with no extra turn mechanic or anything like that. You know, obviously it's a void legendary, but like a Krutraxa, she has obviously the extra turn when she kills somebody. You can do some neat things there. You know what? She is a Rotos killer. Let's kill Rotos. That's something you could use her for, right? An anti-Rotos team. Obviously, Ultimate Death Knight is going to be an absolute 1000% hard counter to her. So that's an issue because what? Every other team in the entire arena has an Ultimate Death Knight. So that's another thing going against her, both affinity-wise and the fact that she has no way around him. Well, I guess you could argue that the way around him is only the first hit, so the other 3 will land on the target. So at least there's that, right? Here comes the A2. Again, she's dealing some nice damage, but again, it's single target damage. I guess my opinion is exactly where it was at the beginning of the video here, guys. Don't let me make this video 20 minutes long. I think that if you need help with areas like Fire Knight, some clan boss damage, one area we did not test her on is on a clan boss team. Right now I'm running a Myth Fu team, so she doesn't really fit in that right now. I have nothing speed tuned. However, if you're running a clan boss team just looking for some, you know, multi-hitters, get a lot of Giant Slayer procs, then I guess she could be serviceable there for sure. She got that nice passive as well. I think she's, again, a 5 out of 5 in Fire Knight regular. I think she's maybe a 4 out of 5 or 4.5 out of 5 in Fire Knight hard. And then Fire Knight Cursed City, going to help you out there if she's usable. And then outside of that, maybe ally attack team, stuff like that. You know, she could be nice debuffer to have there with a decreased attack against the bosses, the leech to keep her team alive. So she brings certainly enough to the table to justify kind of exactly where we led off the video. And that is, I think she's kind of a B plus type champion if you need that kind of a skill set. Let's see what her in-game ratings are, guys. Reviews so far, pretty much what we said, right? For the most part, C plus, B minus, I guess, right? Very lackluster. So anyway, guys, let me know what you think of this champion. Stay tuned for all the awesome content that I was trying to tease throughout this video. Much love, and as always, take care, guys.